Got this package from HookahDaily.com. Shipped out on the 14th. Today's the 20th. So I mean, about 6-day shipping, which is pretty average. Shipped out via FedEx home delivery. Let's go ahead and tear into the box here and see how our product came. As you can see here, we have the Narbish. Anxious to try this hose out and review it for you guys. See the hose there? It's definitely a pretty good length hose. The mouth tip goes in here. We're gonna go ahead and fire up a hookah here in a few, and we'll give this hose a look for you. With HookahDaily.com and ShishaForum.com. And today we received a package from HookahJohn.com, and he was nice enough to send us out one of his new Narbish version 3 hoses to talk about with you guys. Very, very excited to give this hose a try. This is actually only my second time smoking out of it. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the hose's features, what makes it unique, as well as how it stacks up with some of the other hoses in the market, like the Grand Caravans, as well as the Razans, Namors, and the KM hoses. We're also going to show you what kind of smoke output that the hose features. Talk a little bit about some of its cleaning functionalities. It's fully washable hose. So you guys stay tuned, and we're going to review the HookahJohn Narbish version 3 hose. First of all, I want to go ahead and thank John at HookahJohn, used to be known as Chronic Hookah, for sending us out the hose to review for you guys. For our demonstration purposes, we're smoking out of a KM Tri-Metal, which is 3 coconut hour coals. We have a funnel bowl, smoking some strawberry margarita, if I remember correctly, and water in the base. Of course, we got our trusty Narbish hose. The first thing that I really like about this hose is just the way it looks. We have this this like tweed rope wrapped handle. As you can see, it's a really tight, very like hard feeling handle. It just feels really strong. It feels like it'll last forever. And that's one thing that, you know, with some of the other hoses on the market, they feel like they're just going to fall apart, which they eventually do over time. I must go through about probably 5 or 6 hoses a year. So I'm actually anxious to see, you know, how long this hose actually lasts me. It is a fully washable hose. There is no metal inside. As you can see, I can squeeze the hose and almost touch my fingers together. I mean, it's a very soft type material, which is really good. You know, with that metal in there, not only does it rust, but you know, you can bend it and crimp your hose, and this can actually be, you know, squeezed back into place. It has a removable mouthpiece. As you can see, it just fits into the grommet here. Fully washable. You just stick your socket on your faucet right into there, turn it on full blast, run the water right through it. You know, pour some vinegar, some cleaning solution, whatever you want through the hose, and you're not gonna damage the hose or you know, ruin it. Mouth tip's made out of like a clear plastic acrylic, as well as the hose port, and then it has this really long handle coming out of the hose port. Just a solid product. Comes in several different colors. I believe this actual hose is 80 inches long, which is just super long. It's comparable to a lot of the other hoses on the market, but this is it just feels so much longer. I love the hose. As far as the way it smokes, it's going to be up there with some of the nicest hoses I've ever used. As you can just see, there's big white clouds coming out of this hose. There's no restriction. It just feels so effortless just to pull on it. Of course, we have a diffuser in there now, so you're not getting any of the bubbles and things like that. Let's see how this hose stacks up to some of the other hoses. I want to go ahead and talk about the size comparisons on the Narbish hose. As you can see, first we have the Narbish here, just your standard version 3 Narbish hose. This is next to a KM hose. As you can see, the KM hose handle is just a little bit longer, though the actual handle is made out of very similar material. which is like the tweed rope that's wrapped around nice and tight. It seems like the Narbish and the KM hose have a very similar diameter. As far as the hose port, it looks like it's very similar. The KM and the Narbish are going to be about the same as far as the hose port. So a lot of people were saying that the hose port was kind of long on the Narbish. As you can see, it's very similar to like the KM. Next we have a Razan. This is actually the Razan Sultan model, but as you can see, the Razan handle is actually just a little bit longer. They both have their removable mouth tips. The hose port is going to be a lot shorter than that of the Narbish. The Narbish hose port is just super long. It's close to about a foot in length, 12 inches in length. Here we have a very similar hose to the Razan, which is the Grand hose. This is very similar to the Namor as well. The mouth tip is noticeably longer on the Narbish, though the handles are about the same length. And your hose port is going to be just your standard like Namor or Razan hose port, so it's not going to be really long like the Narbish or the KM hose ports. As far as the diameter, it looks like they are very similar. The Narbish actually looks just a little bit wider, and it seems like the ridges are a little bit bigger as well. You can see the handles are entirely different. This is like a wrapped fabric on the Grands, the Namors, and the Razans. As you can see, the Razan there and the Grand, it's like a wrapped fabric with like a thread wrapped around it. That can get really annoying because once that thread breaks in any way, the fabric just starts unwinding itself and can be, big pain in the butt. So I really like how the Narbish has this rope type handle that's wrapped real nice and tight. It's a real comfortable feel. It's a very strong feel. It feels like it actually adds some strength to the hose, and I really like the construction of this hose. A lot of you are probably wondering what Narbish means. Narbish actually is Arabic for hose. So when you call this a Narbish hose, you're actually calling it a hose. So that's kind of funny. But that was the review of the hose or the Narbish hose. I think as far as an overall score, I really like the hose. It's easy to clean. You just plug it into the your faucet, run water through it. You don't have to worry about it rusting. It looks like it'll last a long time. The hose port is a little on the long side, but then again, it doesn't really knock any points off because a lot of the KMs on the market have the exact same length as far as the hose port. It feels solid. It feels like it's going to last a long time. Has very good diameter, very good pull. Effortless pull. As far as an overall score, I really like the hose, and actually going to have to give it a 10 out of 10. This is probably one of the best products I've had in a long time. One of the best products that I've used in a long time. So if you haven't picked one up yet, make sure you guys visit HookahDaily.com, the exclusive retailer of the Narbish hose, and pick one up. $24.99. It's a hose that's going to last you a long time. As far as I can tell, I only had it for a day, but it actually looks like it'll last you a long time. So definitely worth the purchase. Check it out. Tell them that HookahDaily and ShishaForm sent you. If you want to save an additional percentage on your purchase, make sure you check out ShishaForm.com for a coupon code. Until next time, this has been Jake with HookahDaily and ShishaForm.com, and you guys keep smoking.